the vault. And Monique Allen from Australia, first competitor.
Quite a privilege for the young Australian to begin this competition. Vaulting with a handspring front. Oh, superb performance. What a start.
This is the hardest way to land a vault. Forward spin and not a movement at the end.
Layout Tsukahara, a very good second vault.
From the coach, that's a terrific 2 vaults in fact.
And in replay now we see the laid out Tsukahara. Nice body line and just that hop on landing, but what a superb start for Monique Allen.
And a superb score too, 9.62-year-old Lu Feng.
Now Lu using the round-off approach. Oh, beautiful job. Very exact tonight. They mean business. And in replay, determined approach, round-off onto the board, back handspring, and there's the somersault with full twist, and it's another rock-solid landing. Must be a different vault. A layout Tsukahara, a little lower in post play. And in replay, we can see she has a forward takeoff approach, and then the somersault in laid out position, but a stumble on landing will incur deduction.
And there's the average, came third in the all-round competition 2 nights ago.
Yang Bo, the Chinese national champion, alluding to the head judge now, indicating her readiness to begin her vault run. Oh, another excellent vault.
But only slightly, Peter.
And we'll see that in replay now. Very determined approach. Round off onto the board. Handspring onto the horse, and look at the height in that somersault. And yes, those feet were just a little apart. Must be a different vault. A laid out Tsukahara, a very popular vault here. And in replay, round off approach, but we can see it's only a layout 1.5 somersault, no twist there in post flight.
And the score 9.587.
Oh, excellent job. This is. And in replay, the round off onto the board. And there's that layout somersault with full twist, and she spotted that landing dead still. Full twisting Tsukahara, very competent performance. However, in replay, we'll see that she's added a full twist to the somersault. There's the tuck position and the full twist in there. Legs a little untidy, but a good second performance.
Yes, sir.
United States of America. Again, another Shevchenko vault, this time in the tuck position. The girls are firing well tonight, working very hard to stick their landings, and there's that Shevchenko with full twist and just one small step on landing. And now Jana Reardon preparing for a second vault, and we see in picture concentration as she begins her 25-meter approach. A good job by this. Now Jana's chosen again the layout Tsukahara vault, and again just a small wobble there on landing.
And that's another great score, 9.5. Natalia Laschenova, the all-round champion. Can she also take this vault?
Now let's look for a first-rate performance. This girl is world championship material on this apparatus. Oh, excellent, but just that vault earned her 9.950 during the all-round competition. Let's look for the mistake here on landing. Just that one step back. How unfortunate. Oh, now that's a job. She knew she needed
Of course, Peter, and not from the previous competition, so both of these need to be good.
And this was more than good. Let's have a look at it. 1.5 front somersault with half twist. And that's absolutely perfect.
More than good indeed. 9.925. That'll be very old. Konica Covacci from Canada.
Covacci, a member of the Canadian Olympic team at Seoul. Oh, very nice Shevchenko vault.
Yesterday.
You're right, Don. Their performances are surpassing the men. And here in replay, very good leg form and a good landing, the smallest hop at the finish. Perform just something a little better. She has to get into the medals. Oh, it's short. How unfortunate. She attempted a handspring with 1.5 somersaults. Takes her right out of medal contention now on this apparatus final. In replay, let's look for it. Handspring onto the horse, 1.5 somersault, but she's opened too early for a heavy landing.
Yes, and she'd be disappointed with that 9.512. Take the lead.
A little low on landing, but that's possible. All of these young ladies perform this vault tonight and perform them with credit. There it is, a little low on landing, but a good finish for the young Canadian. Laid out Sukahara, a slight step on landing, but she's... In replay, we'll see how the girls must arrive on the board with both feet and also arrive on the horse with both hands. Whereas last night we saw one of the gentlemen use a one-arm...
5.87.
As we expected, another gold to the USSR, the
Soviet Union, Elena Abrashitova.
An interesting mount here, front somersault over the low bar, and she's made it successfully. Straight into her release movement. Always difficult to start a final competition, and for the young ladies who's first up, the stress is on them. Routine flowing well at this stage. Only dismount to come. Giant swing. Double flyaway. A very good start for Abrashitova.
As well as a head judge. The highest and lowest, or all of the scores are actually being counted except for the head judge.
And in replay, we can see the Delchev somersault. The girls required to have one release re-grasp on the uneven bars. The girls must have movements that swing between both bars, but generally complete their dismount from the high bar. Double flyaway, knees apart, and a respectable landing.
And a very respectable score.
Trudi nurse. Trudi scored a 9.8 with this routine in the all-around competition. She's certainly a high flyer on this event. Let's look for her strong releases. Now that one defies gravity. What a beautiful catch-up vault. All long swinging movements satisfying the full requirements. Dismount over the low bar, half turn. Oh, excellent routine. Trudi nurse of Australia.
Well done, Trudi. Applause there from Trudi. She placed fourth in the all-round competition on the uneven bars. Can she move up just one to get a medal?
And in replay, we can see how the coach stands in there for security on those high-flying releases. The girls must use both bars in this routine. And here's a very interesting dismount over the low bar.
Yes, and it is a good score. 9 points now up on the uneven bars. Natalia Laschenova.
Now Laschenova, known for her peerless technique on this event. Look for the strong handstands. First release, very clean catch-up vault. Second release, Ginga, no problem there. One release required, but at this standard in finals, two releases gives the girls that little bit extra bonus from the judges. Very clean so far. Oh! Here again we see supremacy from the young Soviet.
That's got to go close to a 10, Peter.
I would think so, Don. And in replay, beautifully high Kachev, straight into a second release. Now the combination of two highly difficult movements gives some extra bonus to the girls' routine. There's one touch on the low bar. The girls required to have 2 bar changes during the routine. In other words, they can't just work on the horizontal bar.
Well, surprisingly, just a 9.8.
Covacci using a mount onto the high bar, something a little different there. Oh, a fall! She looks fine, but that's certainly unusual from the experienced Canadian. She would have used that release regrasp, that Kachev vault numerous times in this standard of competition. She has 30 seconds to be composed and recommence the exercise. Her long swings are looking a little cramped here, perhaps a little unnerved with that fall. Just a dismount now. A good landing by Monica Covacci. And here's the completion of the routine following her unfortunate fall on the uneven bars, and that'll take her out of all contention for medals. That's a disappointment for the Canadian, a veteran of world and Olympic competition. Dismount now, double flyaway in the tuck position, solid landing.
Yes, and just 8.025, a performance.
Who will be elated after her 3rd place finish on vault earlier tonight. Monique carries or received a 9.825 on this event in all-around competition. Very fine technique. Kachev straddle, no problem. Must touch the low bar twice and must also have 2 direction changes. And we've seen both of those already. Just the dismount. Full turn again in giant and fly away. Oh, one step, but a fine routine. And in replay, the movement from low bar to high bar there. These are asymmetric or uneven bars, and the girls have to use both bars. That's the nature of the event. Dismounts generally from the high bar, double flyaway, and just that one step to mar this near-perfect performance.
Oh, great. 9 points last year should put her in good standing here.
Now, Janine looking for a stronger performance following her teammates' fall on this apparatus tonight. Reverse giant, that's unusual. And her release, Jaeger somersault, well controlled, moving to the low bar. 10 movements in this routine, 10 movements minimum required. Full turn, she handled that well. Fly away. Oh, good solid routine. Well done.
That finish.
They realise the importance of this competition, and we can see her being congratulated by her teammates for an excellent performance. And here's this reverse giant. Look at the grip. The hands have been reversed. A beautiful Jaeger somersault there. We can see the magnesium carbonate, the chalk, fly from the bar as she regrasps. That chalk used to just aid in the grip on the bars. There's a full twisting giant swing, and now only the double flyaway to come. Knees apart, but a very good landing.
And the award from the 3 judges, score of 9.8 to beat to take the gold medal. This is Lu Feng.
Now, Lu Feng, the picture of concentration as she begins her routine here. The Chinese, known for their supreme technical... Oh! She mistimed that release, regrasped, but was slightly over-rotated and had no other option but to release the bar. Now, that's unexpected.
And she's using very large grips too, so that's very surprising.
I don't think the grips had a thing to play in that fall, Don, but mind you, they may have. Perhaps not enough chalk on the bars. Oh, excellent dismount. Have excellent flawless performances, but they've got to show added difficulty. This is a finals event.
Let's have a look at the spill just here.
Now, she's got the bar, but yes, the guards may have played a part in that fall.
May have got in the way, just the fingertips grasping the bar. And there's a very low score for this competition, 8.0
of China. She has just seen her teammate have a fall on this apparatus. The pressure's on for this last routine. Reverse giant, forward giant, half turn again into another reverse giant. Oh, there's no trouble with that release. Now she's moved to the low bar, so only dismount to go now. Giants, beautiful giants on the high bar. Oh, good routine, the smallest hop on landing.
Through that, pat from the coach.
In replay, mounting to the high bar. We can see the grip change here. The girls have to have at least 2 grip changes during their routine, and here's that beautifully high release. The uneven bars is equally exciting as the men's horizontal bar. And fly away to finish. A near perfect landing.
Oh yes, Yang Bo's done it, a 9.9.
Bo, the best in China first, Natalia Laschenova.
This competitor away on the beam.
Monique mounting with a jump to held handstand. The girls have to demonstrate a mount of medium difficulty. She's met that requirement. Now her leap series. Of the many requirements on beam, one is a gymnastics series combining 2 leaps or jumps, and now an acrobatic series, back handspring, layout, step out. Oh, very sure indeed. Now, being a finals event, the girls are attempting to put more into their routine, quality and quantity. So instead of seeing only 1 acrobatic series, we're likely to see 2 or even perhaps 3. And here's that second acrobatic series. Back handspring, very sure by Monique. Duration of beam routine between 1 minute 10 seconds and 1 minute 30. An overtime or undertime beam routine will receive a deduction. And the dismount, double somersault. Oh, what an excellent start. We saw the same from Monique on. Now the dismount matters. It leaves the final impression with the judges. Double somersault, and what a landing.
And another great...
Deliana mounting with a press through to handstand. The beam is 5 meters long, but only 10 centimeters wide. And therein lies the difficulty of this event, as the girls have to combine acrobatics, as we see there, with gymnastic and dance elements. So really, it's a floor exercise on the beam. Flick, flack, loud, step out. But her leg form is not quite stretched enough. There'll be some deductions there. A pause between that leap series. The judges won't miss it at this level of competition. Salto, named after the world-famous Olga Korbut. A small wobble there, about a 1/10 of a point deduction. Dismount now. Full in, double back somersault, the only one in this competition, the most... We can understand why she's pausing prior to this movement. There it is, full twist into the double somersault. Low landing, but she's held it up.
And a score of 9.8, and she's made all 4 finals this evening. And of course, remembering only the top 2 competitors from each country are allowed into the final.
A very difficult front somersault onto the beam. Easy enough on the floor exercise, but onto a 10-centimeter wide beam, very hard to land. Laschenova, like all the Soviets, very precise in her movements, very elegant. Tumbling pass. Oh, beautiful stuff. Layout somersault. Heaps of room for the landing. Now, those sort of movements are her trademark. Very powerful young lady. That's unique. Leap series. Very controlled at this stage, very precise. Oh, there's a small wobble. Layout, step out. Very sure indeed. Now, on the beam, the girls have to show different level changes. Work close to the beam and work high above the beam as we see now. Included in her movements must be rhythm changes. And she's demonstrated that beautifully tonight. Dismounts, back handspring. Oh, pull in. Oh, yes. What a dismount. Full twisting double somersault of the Soviet Union.
That's the extra difficulty you were talking about before, that she's tried to put in the end of her routine.
Yes, Don. Beautifully done. Just one step on landing.
And that 9.75
of the United States. Elizabeth, one of the juniors sent here for this competition, only 14 years of age, mounting with a round-off back handspring onto the beam. Acrobatic series. Oh, very nicely done. Experience beyond her years being demonstrated here. She's performing amongst world-class competition. Oh, a double twist. Now that's original. That'll certainly give her bonus. Oh, a small pause there between leap series. All of the connections on beam must be connected without interruption. Aerial cartwheel half turn. Yes, some originality being demonstrated here by the young United States gymnast. Here's a beautiful movement. Reverse plunge. Can she bring it back? Oh, very nice. Lowering to a standard planche. That's a crowd-pleasing performance. Very unique. The US gymnasts always noted for their excellent choreography on the beam event and floor exercise, and we see that well demonstrated here tonight. Just the dismount now. Back handspring, double back somersault, great routine.
And the coach is very pleased indeed. Marvellous performance from the young United States gymnast.
Here's that pirouette with 3 turns. Amazing stuff. I'm left speechless after that performance. She would be one of the few girls in the entire world to perform such a movement with 3 pirouettes.
Elizabeth has been rewarded with a 9. This is Yang Bo.
Now Yang received a 9.9, so close to that 10 for her beam performance in the all-round competition. Very dynamic performer.
She needs to bet a 9.75 to take the lead.
She's certainly capable of that. Very businesslike at this stage. Back handspring, layout, step out, layout, step out. Oh, rock solid. Another very solid acrobatic part. Beautiful flexibility being demonstrated in her handstands. This is textbook examples for all the young gymnasts. The mandatory full pirouette, every routine must have one. Oh, this is magnificent. This is equal, if not better, to her all-round performance. Oh, Corbett, full twist. That sort of movement has never been seen in this country before. Pause before the dismount. Round off. Double somersault. Oh, one step. only one step,
We're on the beam. She's done another spotless routine here.
Now, if you're looking for consistency, here it is. Look at this. Oh, magnificent.
And a magnificent score to go with it. Zhang from China, the last competitor.
Now, Sia commencing a routine with her gymnastics series, then straight into acrobatic series. Layout step out, she's landed solid, looked in a little bit of trouble there for a second. Full twisting Corbett. Beautiful exercises close to the beam. The judges looking for originality in movements, and in fact that's where some bonus points lie. Back handspring, layout step out. Oh, a small movement of the foot there on landing. Just a couple of small slips in this routine, but none have resulted in major falls. Can she hold the dismount? Round off, double somersault, and one step on landing. John, this is a competition of experience for these girls. And here's that full twisting Corbett, but you can see she's offline. But fortunately, the movement's close to the beam, and she regains composure.
She may be young, but 9.8.
Finishing 1-2 on the balance beam, giving Yang Bo success.
Monica Covacci of Canada.
She's had a few problems earlier this evening. Let's hope she can get through with a good floor routine.
Always difficult to start a final event, Don, but there's no better gymnast to lead us out tonight than Monica. She's a very experienced international. Twisting double soldo, a little low on landing, but carried it off well. Now in floor exercise, the girls have to combine acrobatic with gymnastic and dance movements. Second tumbling pass, double pike soldo, well landed. They must perform at least 3 acrobatic series. Unlike men's floor exercise, the girls' movements are accompanied with music, and it may be orchestrated. So there is total license with the harmony of movement and music. Chance for a little bit of personal expression as we see here. Last tumbling pass. One and a half twisting, step out and double twist to finish. A competent
that we'll be seeing in this final.
In replay, her final tumbling pass, 1.5 twisting back somersault into a double twist.
And our first score on the floor, 9.475.
And now up on the floor is Kylie Shadbolt of Australia. Kylie looking for a better performance during this final event. She had an unfortunate fall on the beam final. First tumbling pass now. Most important pass. Let's look for it. Double layout, well landed. She's pleased with that. second tumbling pass, second of 3. Double somersault, just a little short on landing, but regained well. Excellent use of the head and arms by Kylie. She's a truly expressive artistic gymnast. Last tumbling pass has to have a strong finish. Double somersault, well landed. Elegant finish. Well done, Kylie Shadbolt of Australia.
That was a great performance, Peter. The crowd's really giving her a big clap. A marvellous performance, and especially a tumbling very dynamic.
And let's view some of that tumbling now in replay. A very determined Kylie Shadbolt. Last tumbling pass, and what a landing.
Oh, she's been rewarded very well with a 9.8. She may get into the medals. Next competitor from the Soviet Union, Natalia Laschenova. And she has the score of 9.8 to beat from Australia's Kylie Shadbolt.
It's great to see the Australians setting the standard here. But of course, we're now looking at one of the world's best gymnasts. Watch for the interpretation of this music. Using music, Call of the Mountain King. First tumbling pass, double layout. Oh, no problems. The crowd's totally involved at this stage. This is a beautiful routine, characterizing everything that we've come to expect from a premier floor routine. Now the excitement builds. We have second tumbling pass. Oh, great job. Double salto. Excellent landing. Now, can she finish just as strongly as she started? The next few seconds will tell. Full twisting double. Good landing. Oh, brilliant floor routine. Amongst the world's best.
It's not hard to see why she was our all-round champion here.
She'll be pleased with that. In replay, the second tumbling pass. Look for the shore landing right here.
Gee, just a 9.8. That's the same score as Kylie Shadbolt. After that brilliant performance, let's just sit back and watch and see what Zhang can do for China.
Now the young Chinese will be inspired by the Soviets' performance. Double salto to start with. Very competent. Second tumbling pass. The girls are required to do movements throughout the whole floor area, the 12-meter square. A compositional deduction would be given if movements were only found in one area of the floor. Double somersault to finish, very sure landing. A classy performance by Zhang of China. Now, these very high tumbling movements are made possible partly because of the sprung floor these girls tumble on. Excellent work.
And there's her score, 9.65. Now our final competitor on the floor from the Soviet Union, Elena Shevchenko, who just pipped her teammate out into this final. Of course, only 2 competitors from each nation competing, and Elena Abrashitova was unable to make this final with a score of 9.75 in the preliminary competition.
That's so, Don, and it shows the standard of gymnastics performance we've had at this Konica Grand Prix. First pass, full in double somersault, very well landed. Shevchenko, like her Soviet teammate, has chosen a very lyrical accompaniment and is interpreting it very well indeed. Second tumbling pass. Double salto, and she's out of the area. That's a 1/10 of a point deduction. Pass. She has to finish well. Double somersault. A fine performance. Just marred by that one step out of the area. And that's our final 4 routine here tonight by Elena Shevchenko. Here's that double somersault. Very fine landing.
So a wonderful result for Australia. Kylie Shadbolt equal first for a gold medal with Natalia Laschenova. That's certainly exalted company.